The most decorated soldier in American history fought battles long after the war ended. This is Audie Murphy's untold story. What drives a man to risk everything, become America's most decorated soldier, and still face his toughest battles after the war? The answer lies in the incredible story of Audie Murphy, a man who defined heroism on and off the battlefield. His legacy isn't just one of medals and movies, but of resilience, courage, and advocacy for veterans who silently fight battles long after the war ends. Join us as we delve into the life of the hero Hollywood couldn't ignore, Audie Murphy. Call to action: the young Texan goes to war. Born on June 20, 1925 in Kingston, Texas, Audie Murphy grew up in the throes of poverty. One of 12 children, he dropped out of school to help support his family after his father abandoned them. Despite his challenges, Murphy's tenacity and resilience set the stage for what would become a life of extraordinary valor. When the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor plunged America into World War II, Murphy's course was set. From December 1941 to June 1942, despite being underweight and underage, he fought relentlessly to enlist, visiting recruiting offices repeatedly and facing rejection after rejection. He lied about his age, stood on tiptoes during physical exams, and ate voraciously to gain weight. This 6-month struggle revealed a man who wasn't just driven by patriotism, but by a desperate desire to protect his family, honor his country, and prove his worth. Finally accepted by the Army in 1942, the 17-year-old Texan would soon transform from a farmhand into a battle-hardened soldier. Audie's early military training. From July 1942 through early 1943, Murphy endured rigorous training that transformed him from a determined teenager into a skilled combatant. Despite his small stature and initial struggles, Murphy's unwavering resolve caught the attention of his superiors. Every obstacle he faced became another opportunity to prove himself. He pushed himself past exhaustion, mastering the Monogarand rifle with precision that left his instructors in awe. These grueling months didn't just shape his skills, they built the mental toughness and unshakable focus that would define him on the battlefield. Basic training introduced him to the tools of war, but it was his sharp instincts and adaptability that truly set him apart. Whether it was mastering the Monogarand rifle or developing tactics for close-quarters combat, Murphy displayed an extraordinary ability to learn under pressure. These skills would prove invaluable on the battlefields of Europe, where he quickly rose through the ranks. Trials and triumphs, the Battle of Holtzwihr. Fast forward to January 26, 1945. Near the Alsatian town of Holtzwihr, a 19-year-old Audie Murphy found himself leading a group of 40 soldiers against a German force of over 250 troops and 6 tanks. The odds? Unimaginable. But for Murphy, it was just another day at war. When German artillery began pounding the American positions, Murphy's quick thinking and composure turned the tide. As his comrades retreated to safer positions under his orders, Murphy faced the advancing enemy alone. The burning tank destroyer became both his shield and weapon. Amid the deafening explosions, Murphy's hands trembled but never faltered as he manned the .50 caliber machine gun. For over an hour, he held off the Germans, directing artillery fire so close to his position that survival seemed impossible. His bravery wasn't just in his actions. It was in his unyielding belief that he could protect his men, no matter the cost. Despite being wounded by shrapnel, he continued to fight, eventually forcing the enemy to retreat. For his actions that day, Audie Murphy received the Medal of Honor, cementing his legacy as one of the bravest soldiers in American history. But for Murphy, the accolades were bittersweet. As he later reflected, there is V-Day without, but no peace within. Murphy's battles across Europe. Murphy's heroism wasn't confined to the Battle of Holtzwihr. From July 1943 through May 1945, Murphy served in campaigns across Europe, from the beaches of Sicily to the heart of Germany. In southern France during Operation Dragoon, the Allied invasion of southern France launched on August 15, 1944. Murphy led his men to seize a strategically vital hill under intense enemy fire, an action that earned him the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest military decoration awarded to members of the United States Army for extraordinary heroism. Each step forward came with loss, comrades falling beside him, their absence weighing heavily on his heart. His ability to stay composed under fire became legendary among his peers. But the victories were deeply personal and painfully costly. Murphy's resilience wasn't just about survival. It was about carrying the memories of those he lost, ensuring that they were in a better place than he. Murphy tells us that, after a while, his pain was less intense and he finally slept better. Return and struggles. Murphy returned to the United States in June 1945 as a national hero, greeted by parades, magazine covers, and widespread acclaim. But behind the public adoration lay a man haunted by the ghosts of war. Plagued by nightmares, flashbacks, and survivor's guilt, Murphy battled what we now recognize as PTSD. His nights were sleepless, his mind replaying the horrors of combat, his heart heavy with the weight of survival. Instead of succumbing to his demons, Murphy chose to speak out. In an era when mental health was stigmatized, especially among veterans, he used his platform to advocate for better care and support for those who had served. His bravery in addressing these struggles was as impactful as his actions on the battlefield. Rhetorical question: how does a man fight for his country abroad while battling invisible enemies at home? Hollywood and legacy. Murphy's transition to Hollywood began in 1948, encouraged by screen legend James Cagney. His entry into the film industry was unconventional, moving from battlefield heroics to the bright lights of Hollywood. This leap exemplified his ability to adapt and reinvent himself after his military career ended. He acted in westerns and war films, using his own experiences to bring authenticity to his roles. His most famous film, To Hell and Back, 1955, was an adaptation of his memoir and a box office sensation. The film, which portrayed Murphy playing himself, brought raw authenticity to the screen, offering audiences a visceral glimpse into the harsh realities of war. Yet, Murphy's Hollywood career wasn't just about fame. It was a way to ensure that the stories of soldiers like him, their sacrifices, their struggles, and their humanity, were preserved and understood by a broader audience. His films resonated with audiences, serving as a cultural bridge that connected civilian life with the often unseen realities of military service, making the struggles of veterans more relatable and accessible. Audie Murphy's enduring impact on modern veteran advocacy. Audie Murphy tragically died in a plane crash on May 28, 1971, near Catawba, Virginia. His untimely death at the age of 45 shocked the nation. Decades after his passing, his enduring legacy continues to influence how society views and supports its veterans. His openness about his struggles with PTSD was groundbreaking, paving the way for modern initiatives that prioritize mental health resources for soldiers returning from war. His courage in addressing his own trauma inspired others to seek help and led to systemic changes in veteran care. Organizations such as the Veterans Administration, VA, implemented programs inspired by early advocates like Murphy, offering essential services such as counseling, peer support groups, and comprehensive mental health care tailored to veterans' unique needs. His story serves as a critical case study in understanding how to bridge the gap between military service and civilian life. Honoring the legend. Even after his passing in 1971, Audie Murphy's legacy remains a powerful source of inspiration for generations. Memorials across the United States, such as the Audie L. Murphy Memorial VA Hospital in San Antonio and the Audie Murphy/American Cotton Museum in Greenville, Texas, stand as testaments to his extraordinary life and contributions. His story is taught in military academies, and his name remains synonymous with valor. These tributes remind us of the profound impact one individual can have, not only on the battlefield, but also in shaping societal attitudes toward resilience, advocacy, and service. Murphy's story continues to inspire action and reflection on the duty owed to veterans. Rhetorical question: what lessons can we learn from Audie Murphy's life that still resonate today? If you're inspired by Audie Murphy's story, consider supporting organizations that provide resources and mental health care for veterans. Let's ensure that every hero receives the care and recognition they deserve. This is At Ease Veterans, where we honor the past, support the present, and inspire the future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of heroism and resilience.